Hi friends, welcome to our Creativity Club. I'm Meredith, the brand ambassador for Creativity for Kids, Faber-Castell, USA. Today we are opening up our turtle garden stone and doing this craft with you. So let's go ahead and see what's inside. All right, and right here you can see samples of all 3 garden stones that are available. So we have our turtle that we'll be doing today. We have our beautiful rainbow and our outstanding butterfly. And after we're done crafting, we will show how wonderfully these glow in the dark. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Inside you get, ooh, this is heavy duty. So here's your base, your garden stone. So we'll be crafting inside this. We've got our handy dandy instructions. And everything we need is inside here. We will be using resin, so we do have some gloves so the resin does not get on your hands. This is our little tray to mix our resin in. A pipette for distributing the resin. This here is our resin and our glow-in-the-dark paint. Some stir sticks. Our mosaic tiles. And our little tile placing tool. Okay. And this here goes with our little tile placing tool. It's actually the sticky stuff. I'll show you how it's used. That goes in the tip. So let's go ahead, put all of this to the side until we need it. All right, first things first. To begin, start by sorting all of your mosaic tiles by color. So here's our tiles, and I'm going to just be sorting them in this glass bowl, but you could use a couple different containers if you want. The first color I'm going to actually pull out will be the dark green color, and that's because I'll be using that one first. So I'm sorting one color at a time, but if you want to take the time to sort all of your colors, you can do that too. And more than likely you will not use all of the tiles that we're giving you. I will be following the sample that you see on the box or in the instructions, but you can design your turtle however you would like. You can choose whatever colors you want to fill in the little turtle back in whatever design you like. So we'll be doing a pattern shown in the instructions. So these are all different shapes and sizes of mosaic pieces. So it makes it really fun and organic when you're placing them in the garden stone, because it's kind of like problem solving a little bit since it's not an exact puzzle, which makes it fun and interesting. Okay, I got pretty much all of our dark green out. And this little guy here. And I might come across a few more, but that should be good for now. Okay, the next thing we get to do is mix our resin together. And we have a big warning here, you know, use or wear old clothes so you don't get anything on your good clothes. And then if you want to wear the gloves, if you're not comfortable mixing it without wearing gloves, we're giving you gloves. So if you haven't used resin before, it's really quite easy. You just have to make sure that you follow the instructions. So let's do that. We're going to be using this cute little cup. Oops, come back here, cup. And this is a 2-part resin mixture. So part A and part B. So mix part A and part B together. Just empty both of them into our little container here. And it comes with a little foil seal over top, so you want to remove that and throw it away. So here's A, and it's kind of like, it's almost like glue. We'll see here. It comes out pretty quickly, but we want to make sure we get it all out. Because the amount of both parts is important, and it says in the instructions, just mix both bottles together. And this is a craft project that will take overnight to dry, so the resin will need to cure overnight. Okay, we're almost there, getting all of part A out. There we go. Okay. And same with part B. So just remove the foil like that. Throw it away. And then part B, mix that in after you dump it all out into the cute little bowl. And although these are plastic bottles, they don't really squeeze, so you kind of just have to shake them or hold them at a little bit of an angle so all of the mixture comes out. Oh, there we go. Okay, so we're going to use one of these little stir sticks. And it instructs to mix slowly because we don't really want to create air bubbles. So from overhead you can see it's starting to already mix together and form almost like a milky type of swirl going on. And that's the chemical reaction you want to see. So this is totally normal to see this, like, I don't know, milky, I guess is the best way to describe it, although it's not like super white like milk. It's just kind of cloudy, I guess. Reminds me of space somehow. I really like it. It's neat. So you're gonna stir this for 3 minutes. So I'll check my time right now. Okay, so we were probably in by 30 seconds. So we'll just keep stirring it. And the way that you'll know that you're done or that you can stop stirring it, besides after 3 minutes, you won't see as much difference in the color of the resin. So it won't look as, like, it will look more milky. It will look more consistent. So just keep stirring it nice and slow. No air bubbles is what we're going for. And be sure that your stir stick goes all the way to the edge of the container, and where there's any little like bumps or any little like corners or anywhere that resin could be hiding from getting stirred in, you got to make sure that it gets stirred in. And you can see there are some air bubbles happening for me, so you can just like use your stir stick and pop them. And I guess that means I'm going a little bit fast, so I have to go a little slower. And I can tell that the color or the milkiness is getting more consistent, so this is working. Now resin will make your garden stones completely, your mosaics completely stick in your garden stones. So when you're placing your little mosaic pieces, you want to be careful as to where you're putting them, because you're not going to want to reach into the resin and move them around. So placement is important. And again, you can use the sample on the box or in the instructions for inspiration, or you can plan out your own design before you even start. So, oh, there's a big bubble. There we go. Almost there. Let's check our time. Okay, I think that's been about 3 minutes. All right, I'll just put my stir stick over to the side. Okay, so use the pipette to measure out 0.14 fluid ounces of resin for the head, 0.05 fluid ounces for each leg, and 0.33 fluid ounces for the shell. Now, we made it easy by marking on your pipette what the milliliters are. And we have noted in the instructions the milliliters as well as the ounces. So we have 4 milliliters is what we need to put in the head area. So let's start with the head right here. So to use a pipette, first you squeeze the bulb area, this area right here. Just squeeze it, stick it in your resin, and then let go of the bulb, and you'll see the resin rising up into the pipette. And up it goes. Just keep the tip in there and you'll see it getting sucked up into the pipette. All right, so it's filled up 2 milliliters. We need to put 4 milliliters, but I'm just going to do 2 and then another 2. So then here's 2, and I'm going to try and get it all the way around the head. There you go. A little bit more. And then another 2. So squeeze, put the tip in, and watch it suck right up. And that should be about 2. Okay. So here's the other 2. And you can use the tip of your pipette to kind of push the resin to the edges so the entire head has resin within it. All right, so for the other, for the legs, it says 1.5 milliliter each. So we'll go ahead and squeeze up 1 1/2. There's some air bubbles in there, so you kind of have to wait until the air bubble goes down to get the rest of the resin out. And kind of just move it around with the tip of your pipette, making sure it's all coated. There we go. And we're doing that for each leg. Now this resin is very low odor, but if you are sensitive to smell, you might want to crack a window just in case. So this is, I barely smell anything, but I know some resins out there do have more odor than others. And this one. And one more. And this is important too. Try to work on a very flat surface because the resin will naturally just like flow, kind of like paint or glue, to the lowest area. If you're working on a table that might not be super level, your resin might tend to flow towards the lower area of your garden stone. My table is pretty level, so I'm good. All right, and so for the rest, 10 milliliters will go into the shell. So you can use your pipette and squeeze it all in, but I think I'm going to just pour the rest in. So here we go. It takes a little less time doing it that way. Just using the pipette to kind of get all of it out of our little cute little dish. Yay! Cute little dish. Some resin. And then make sure it goes to all of the sides by smearing it like this, like that. And I think this is something that a lot of different ages of boys and girls will like to do, only because mixing the resin and then seeing how it captures things is really fun and cool. So we're capturing our little mosaics in here today, but resin is super fun medium to use. Okay, so next thing we get to, let's see. Okay, allow the resin to fill the entire bottom of the cavities, as we did. Use the stir stick to help get the resin into smaller spaces. We actually use the pipette. The next thing, okay, so we're using our cool little tool here, and this will help pick up our mosaic tiles. So this here is sticky tack. And the tip of our tool is actually hollow. So what we're going to do is push the hollow tip of our tool into the sticky tack to pick up a little sticky tack, like to fill the tip of it with sticky tack. And then we're going to use that to pick up our tiles. Otherwise, it's a little bit hard to pick up your tile and then put it in the resin without getting resin on your fingers. So I'll just show you. It's best to do this on a hard surface, but I'm going to show you on my hand only because it's closer to the camera. So you can see I've got some of that blue in the tip, and I'm just going to use my finger to make sure that it's all in the tip. I'm going to do it again to make sure there's a little bit sticking out of the tip, because that's what we need to use to help it stick to the mosaic tile. All right, so we're going to pick up a mosaic tile and place it in our turtle. So I'm going to start with the head, and I'm going to just do a circle right on the tip. And I am going to use my finger to just keep it off of the tip of the tool. So kind of just to hit it off the tip. There you go. And you might not need to, so that one I didn't need to use my finger. It just depends on how sticky the sticky tack is. There you go. So this is working really well. I do want to mention that there are two sides to your mosaic tiles. The more shiny side is the back, and I'm using that side, the shiny side, to put down into the resin. So the rougher side is facing up. And you can place them however you want, whatever looks good to you. Oh, I want a little circle. And while the resin is still wet, you can move them around a little bit, but I don't recommend picking them up out of the resin. So that one I kind of shoved in so it would fit next to all the other tiles that I had already put in. And I think I can fit one more little tile in here. Boop, there we go. Yay, okay, our head is all done. I'll lift it up so you guys can see a little bit closer. Yay! All right, so we just keep going, filling in the legs. I'm using all dark green for the legs. But again, you can use whatever colors you want because this is your turtle. Or if you're doing the butterfly, or if you're doing the rainbow, this is completely up to you, however you would like to decorate your little garden stone. Oh, that one won't fit. We'll put you down here. And I think this one will fit, yeah. So again, there's no exact science. You kind of just put them in and see how they might fit best. So even if you are doing the turtle today with me, ours might look a little different only because I'm placing my pieces just kind of on a whim, and you might be following a little bit more exact to what the picture on the box looks like. Fun. Oop, upside down. And if you find your tiles are a bit upside down, just shake your container and usually they'll pop around to the other side, to the right side. Or you can do what I just did and place it on the table and then just flip it over with your fingers. Whatever's easiest for you. So we have circles, something like rectangles, and then some of them kind of look like shapes of states. You might see something that I completely don't see at all in these shapes of tiles. Let's see, will you fit over here? No, maybe I have to move you. Kind of. I have to move you totally. Let's see, nope, you're just not going to fit over there. Will you fit over here? Yeah, almost. There we go. Now you have to fit too. Well, there we go. Gotta shove that one in. Alright, since I did get resin on the tip of my tool, I'm gonna wipe it off with a paper towel and then just reload with my little sticky tack. There. There we go. And I think that's all that's going to fit in there. There. Okay, so now it's time to do the shell. So I'm going to take my dark green ones out and then put all the rest of the colors. Actually, I'll just put all of them in here. And again, you can take the time and separate them if you'd like, but I'm just going to keep them all contained, at least in my little glass bowl. So in our picture, we do an outside ring of dark purple and orange. So we're doing a pattern of orange and then dark purple, and just keep on going back and forth between the orange and the dark purple. There we go. Not blue. So it's fun because it becomes something of like a geometric pattern. It's very interesting. Look at that. Yee. Alright, the one that's shaped like Vermont. Come on over. Oh, maybe not. We'll do the kind of ovally one. A little orange. And I'm being very particular in trying not to have the same shape right after another shape of the same. So that's why I'm taking my time a little bit. There we go. This one. Oh, I think I'll have to have two purple in a row, or maybe I can find two shapes that are small enough to both fit. Oh yeah, if I do another little purple one like that. Okay, shwoo, I finished my pattern. All right, and then the next ring I have, let's see, it looks like all blue. So the next ring is all blue. So that's pretty easy. Oh, I thought that one looked like a heart. This one kind of looks like Ohio, which is where I'm from. All right, and then we're going to do a ring of light purple, Ohio, fisheye, chromosome. Let's do another state and another state and almost a rectangle. This one. I want a circle. Here's a circle. The tiny little guy. Another Ohio. And another fisheye. Okay, and then another dark purple, and then another orange. Okay, we are getting there, guys. We're almost there. This is really fun and easy to do once you get the hang of it. I mean, there's not much to get the hang of, but it is kind of meditative, just picking these up and placing them down, and they just kind of automatically stick. Oop, as I'm saying that, this one didn't stick. Here we go. There we go. And there we go. And the final one inside is orange. So I want to put a circle right in the center. Boop. And let's see what will fit around it. I think you will. Yeah. And you will. And one more. You. Yay! All right. So that completes my garden stone. Hold it up so you can see it a little bit better. Now, as I mentioned, you're going to want this to dry completely overnight. So we say for 24 hours, let it dry. I should mention though, some little areas might be available to put more little tiles in, like a little round one might fit here or there. So again, this is up to you. If you want to include another little color or two in the open spaces, feel free, go ahead, do whatever you think looks awesome. Okay, so once your epoxy is totally dry, and you'll know by tapping on it with your nail if it's dry or not. If it sounds hard, then it's dry. If you can kind of put your nail in it and it leaves a little impression, then it's still a little bit wet. So you don't want to, it's not dry completely. You'll want to let it dry completely. So once it is all dry though, we're going to use our glow-in-the-dark paint. And for this design, these are all little bubbles. So you can just unscrew your paint. And I always like to, when it comes in a little bottle like this, I like to just squeeze some out over, like on a piece of paper, just to see how fast or slow it comes out. And that came out pretty nicely. So you just fill up the little bubbles with the glow-in-the-dark paint, like this. And I'm filling them up knowing that when the paint dries, it'll go down a little bit. It'll like dry into the bubble, so even if the paint is a little bit above the surface of the stone, that's okay. It'll dry and it'll fall flat into the garden stone. Okay, so when your paint has dried, when your glow-in-the-dark paint has dried completely, you can place your garden stone outside or under a bright light, turn the lights off, or wait until it's dark outside, and then you can see all of your glow-in-the-dark paint glow. I should mention, you are given a little toothpick, and this could also be used to like move your paint around inside the cute little bubbles, or even move your tiles around as well. And if you do have leftover paint like I do, after your resin is all dry, you can put a little dot here and there on your tiles to make it glow even more. Maybe you want to put little eyes on your turtle and make them glow. So, all right, let's see. I think we're going to turn our lights out so you can see what our glow-in-the-dark garden stones look like when they do glow. Okay, ready. This is our butterfly. You can see the flowers glowing. And here with the stars, this is our rainbow design. And then this here is the one that we just did. This is our turtle with the bubbles. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. Wasn't this so much fun? And doesn't it glow so well? It's so cool. If you want to take a picture and show us what you created, what your design looks like, just ask an older friend or an adult to take a picture and post it up on our Creativity for Kids Facebook page or hashtag Creativity for Kids on Instagram. Well, thank you, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye-bye.